Hello, you made it. I am so glad you're here. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Pamela Wilson. I coach people in mid-career to build profitable online businesses. And I gotta tell you a story, y'all. I am broadcasting from my living room, and I broadcast from my living room yesterday as well for the session I did yesterday. And I was all set up yesterday. I had my fancy camera and I had my fancy mic and everything was ready to go. And I kid you not, 2 minutes before the broadcast started, my fancy camera just turned off and wouldn't turn back on again. So I had to scramble. I scrambled and got, a backup mic to use, and I set up my laptop to use as a camera, and I started on time. So this is actually a perfect story and a perfect segue into what we're going to talk about today, which is how you can tap into your values and your strengths to build an offer that generates more revenue. And the reason it's a perfect segue is that being punctual happens to be one of my business values. It's something that's very important to me, and it's something that's very important in my business. So I wanted to tell that story of what happened yesterday and tell you a little bit about the recovery. And thank you for joining me today so that we could be together with good video and good audio. So I really appreciate you being here. Let's talk about how you can tap into those values and priorities. This is, that whole punctuality thing is something that I got a lot better at as time went on. So as I grew older, I got better. As we all do, we all kind of get better as we go along. So I wanted to talk about that today as well. And I'm going to check something really fast here to make sure maybe you all could let me know in chat if everybody is seeing everything okay and hearing everything okay. I think I'm a little bit nervous after yesterday. So let me know in the comments section if everything is coming through all right. So yesterday's presentation was all about how to tap into your customers' secret needs and desires so that you can create a valuable offer that will meet those needs. And it turns out that those secret needs are not so secret when you know where to look. So I highly recommend that you review the session from yesterday and take a look at what we talked about, because it's kind of the foundation for today's session. So take a look at that if you haven't yet. And thank you for letting me know that everything is coming through. Those of you who are here live, I really appreciate that. There's a little delay on my end in seeing your comments, so thank you. I am breathing easier over here right now. So let's talk about how we can build on what we talked about yesterday, which was getting to know people's needs and desires as you develop your high value offer. And today, what we're tapping into is your personal and business values and your personal and business strengths. And the reason that we're doing that is that when you tap into those things, you can create an offer that is uniquely yours. It's not going to look like anyone else's offer. It's something that only you and your business can deliver. And the reason that we tap into your strengths is that it's going to be so much easier to deliver if you deliver it as you leverage your strengths, right? So that's why we're going to be talking about those things. And at the end of this presentation, I'm going to share how we can continue to work together. I do have this bonus session coming up at the beginning of 2022 in January, a couple of weeks from now. And that bonus session has a value of $2,500. So I would love to share a little bit about how you can be in on that bonus session. We'll save that for the very end and we'll go over the content first. So I do want to ask you, I'm going to be going through this pretty quickly, and I want to ask you if you can grab something to take notes on. It could be a blank piece of paper, but it could also be a blank document that you open on your computer and just have in front of you, because we're going to move pretty quickly. I'm celebrating my 30th year in business in a couple of weeks and my 12th year running an online business. And in all the years that I've had an online business, I discovered the difficult and low profit way to offer something online. And I also discovered the high profit easy way. And of course, I like to teach the latter. That's way more exciting. And that's one of the reasons that I put together this revenue breakthrough series. I have seen way too many smart people like you try to put together offers that end up kind of looking like cookie cutter offers that are way too similar to what's already out there. You know, they tend to look around and see what other people are doing, and then they create something that's just a little bit better or a little bit different than what's already out there. And what ends up happening is they have an offer that is just not unique enough. And that sets them up for a world of hurt. It just makes things difficult because they're kind of fighting to be memorable. They're fighting against the fact that they came up with something that's kind of forgettable. And that's what I want to help you avoid. So when we invest time in doing what we talked about yesterday, which was really researching and exploring the marketplace so that you can understand your place in that marketplace, that's kind of step one. And then when you do what we're talking about today, which is tapping into your personal values and strengths, that's step two. The third step is what we're going to talk about in the next session, which is using a premium pricing framework. So we'll cover that in the next session, but let's dig into this session first. So I mentioned yesterday that one of the things that I noticed when I first started building a business online was this propensity for people to recommend that you take all of your knowledge and put it into a $47 product or a $97 product. And, you know, most of us know, first of all, that what we have managed to acquire in expertise and knowledge at this stage of our lives should never be sold for $47, right? That's the first thing. But the second thing is it just does not really work as a business model because you have to sell a huge volume of these lower priced products in order to make a decent living. So that's one of the reasons that I really believe that in order for you to create consistent online revenue, you must develop a high value offer and charge a premium for that offer. And that is one of the things that I am very committed to helping you to do. So the framework that I'm going to talk about today is how you can use these values and strengths to make your offer unique and memorable. And it really is the way that you can stand out in the marketplace. So we'll start by talking about your values. And your values are things that are important to you personally, but they're also important to you professionally. And they are traits that you want your business to express in the marketplace. How do you know what you want to express in the marketplace? Well, you spend some time really thinking about those values, thinking deeply about how you want to show up in the marketplace. So I mentioned this earlier. In my business, we believe that people become more powerful and more capable as they age, not less. And that is really the opposite of what society would like us to believe. Society would like us to believe that, oh, you know, as you get older, you should kind of like fade away into the distance and stop making so much noise. No, that's not what we believe around here. We believe that you should be able to take all of that expertise that you fought so hard to acquire and take it into the marketplace and make a great living, offering it to people in a variety of different packages. I teach people how to make money selling coaching, courses, services, and membership sites. So those are kind of the four models that I teach. Let's start talking about your values though. And I brought in this worksheet that we use in the Offer Accelerator program as my cheat sheet because there are some pages here that I need to look at as we talk about some of these items. So there are 3 basic steps to doing this. And the first one really is to just think for a while about what those values are. And we can summarize them with a single word, I think, which is, a description of that value, a very concise description of the value. I think it's easier if you can summarize it in a single word. So what I'm going to do, because you don't have this worksheet in front of you, is I'm going to read through a bunch of these so that you get a feel for what some of these values could be. And what I want you to do is to pick 5 or 10 of them that resonate with you as I read them off. So just jot them down if they sound like a value that you would like to use for your business and a way that you want to show up in the marketplace. So here we go, and I have them in alphabetical order. Authenticity, adventure, authority, balance, beauty, boldness, compassion, challenge, citizenship, community, contribution, creativity, curiosity, fairness, faith, fun, growth, happiness, high achievement, honesty, independence. So I'm like halfway through the list. I think I'm just going to go through the whole thing. So here's the rest. Justice, kindness, leadership, love, loyalty, meaningful, work, openness, optimism, peace, pleasure, recognition, reputation, responsibility, security, service, spirituality, stability, success, trustworthiness, wealth, and wisdom. I look at that list and there are 25 things I would like to be. Of course, we aspire to be all of those things, right? They're all great traits. But what I'm asking you to do is to just cherry pick the ones that really resonate with you, that represent how you want to show up in the marketplace. See if you can pick 5 or 10, and then the second half of this, and again, you may need to spread this out and do some thinking in between these steps, but the second half of step 1 is to see if you can narrow it down to 3 values that you really want to focus on. So step 2 is to get in touch with your strengths. And what do I mean by strengths? So strengths are things that you bring to the table now. And the reason I want you to get in touch with this is that I see so many people who come online and they look around to see what everyone else is doing, and they just suppose that they have to do basically their version of the same thing. So for example, in your market, you may see people delivering live video courses, similar to what we're doing today, a live video-based course that they teach live online. The problem with that is that in order to deliver something as complex as this, you really have to learn a very long list of new skills if it's not something that you have done before. So instead of getting into the marketplace and teaching building on your current strengths, you're sort of setting up these stumbling blocks for yourself and saying, well, I want to do this thing, but in order to do it, I have to learn this and this and this. And you have this long list of skills that you feel like you have to master before you can even get yourself to the starting line, right? And I don't believe that. I think that you need to just change the way you think about it and really take a look at your existing strengths. You can't be in this age group without having developed some existing strengths that will help you when you go to deliver your offer. So I want to pull out again another cheat sheet that comes from the Offer Accelerator course that lists some of the kinds of strengths that you probably have now that you can use when it comes time to deliver your offer. So I have them in 2 separate categories. And again, I would love for you to just kind of jot down the ones that resonate with you. I have them in the 2 categories are delivery styles and information containers. So I'm going to tell you what those mean. Delivery styles are basically ways that you can deliver your offer, right? So let me read them and I think they'll make sense. So in-person information delivery, which during the pandemic is not happening as much, but let's say in-person live or in-person virtual like we're doing now, right? But in-person delivery where it's sort of person to person and you're delivering the information. Pre-recorded information, which would be virtual. Written information, audio delivery, video delivery, live speaking. So that's maybe speaking from stage or leading a discussion group or leading a workshop, something like that. Leading, a group that gets together to accomplish something. Or something else. I want you to think about how you might be able to deliver an offer based on what you are already good at and comfortable doing. The second category here is information containers. So this is kind of how you package up your offer and deliver it to people. So workshops or live or pre-recorded material within like a workshop setting, that's one thing. And that would typically be some teaching and then maybe a workbook or some worksheets, some discussions. I mean, we've all been to workshops, you know how they work. So it would basically mean putting your offer into a workshop format. So that's one container. Another container could be courses, live or pre-recorded courses. Another container could be coaching, one-on-one coaching or group coaching. Another container is services, and that's where you deliver a service directly to a client. Other containers could simply be worksheets or checklists or guides that you put together for people. And then again, use your imagination. There may be another container type that I don't have on my list that would feel very comfortable for you to put together. Maybe you have experience putting together, printed notebooks or something like that. So look back on your life and look back on the kinds of containers you've done in the past, and let's build on those. So that's step 2. Step 1 was to get in touch with your personal and professional values. And step 2 was to think about how you can build on your existing strengths to deliver your offer. And when you have those two things, your values and then your strengths, and you've got them kind of lined up sitting in front of you on a piece of paper, then you can do step 3, which is to combine those things. And combining means that you come up with a unique combination of your personal and professional values and your strengths in terms of how you'll deliver your offer for something that is really uniquely yours. Now, this is something that, I have an 11-page worksheet in the Offer Accelerator that shows you how to do this. So if it's not making a lot of sense to you right now, I want you to know that I'm happy to answer any questions in chat or in the comments if you're watching the replay. But let me give you some examples. Let me see if I can find some examples of how this could work. So let's say that you want your market that you want to help, that you did the exploration of yesterday in the previous session, was mid-level executives who want to ascend the corporate ladder. That's the group that you want to help. And your values are contribution, honesty, and optimism. Those are the values that you want to make sure you communicate in your offer and in your business. Your strengths might be live speaking. Maybe you've done some live speaking in the past. Writing and delivering workshops. So those are all strengths. So your offer could be that you put together a live, virtual, or in-person workshop that targets mid-level executives who want support and guidance and a path to follow so that they can ascend the corporate ladder. That's your offer. That's your offer that is built on your values and your strengths. And it's something that is unique to your business. No one else can deliver it like you because they are not going to have that unique combination. So I hope that makes sense to you. This is, again, like I said, kind of high-level stuff. It's information that is most useful to you if you have an established online business and you're really ready to take that next step. If you are in that position, I want to let you know that you have an opportunity to work with me in my Offer Accelerator program, and this is a fantastic time to join because on January 4th, 2022, we are doing what I call an offer sprint. And this is where I am going to work with new members. We are doing an intake of 4 people right now. So if you're interested, please apply because we have 4 spots. We're going to be working with those 4 new members to set a really firm foundation for your online offer. We're going to be taking you through these exercises. You'll get feedback, support, guidance. We're going to spend 3 hours together in this live workshop. So it is a fantastic way to kick off 2022. If you want to, if one of your sort of resolutions or goals is to develop a really high value offer that creates consistent revenue in your online business, this is a great way to do it right in the starting gate of the new year because you'll have a lot of support. I would love to see your application. I'm going to very briefly put up a URL so that you can see where to go if you're ready to apply now. The application takes like 7 minutes. It's pretty easy to do. And I would love to see your application and read through it, and I will give you feedback. And Stacy, who's here in chat, just posted the link in chat. Our next revenue breakthrough session is going to be all about how to use premium pricing. And this is something that I see people in mid-career struggle with a little bit. It's something that we need to do a little bit of, I think, mindset shifting around and some re-education around the fact that even though we are making an offer in the online space, we do not have to buy into this. I have to put my knowledge into a $47 product. So what we're going to be talking about in the next session is how you can add a 0 to the end of your price and just earn more as you deliver more value and you deliver an offer that, again, is based on what the market wants and is based on your values and your current strengths. So I hope that was helpful. I will be watching the comments for any questions that you may have, and I'm happy to answer anything. And I'm standing by looking for your application. So I hope to see it soon so that we have an opportunity to work together in the year ahead. Thanks so much for being here, everyone.